Hello. So for this story, I am taking a cue from another story narrated by a friend, Varkha Chulani, who narrated this story very recently. I will link her story down in the description. This one's about how we often hold on to things that we know are detrimental to us ourselves, and end up essentially doing ourselves a disservice. The story goes, in olden days, when people used to hunt, when we were essentially hunter-gatherers, people used to hunt animals like the deer and monkeys even, right? Instead of going after these animals, because you could very rarely outrun these animals, so instead of going after them, we humans, the hunters among us, would use a lot of smart tactics to get their prey. And one such tactic was where they used a jar with a very small mouth to lure monkeys from top of trees to come and grab some of their favorite food that was kept in the jar. Now, when the monkeys used to put their hands into these jars, they could put the hands in easily, and they could have ideally got them out easily as well, had they not made a fist of it. But because the monkeys would grab onto the food inside the jar, their fists would make it hard for the hand to be pulled out. Now, these hunters who would have kept this jar would wait patiently for the monkeys to put their hand in, and then, knowing that the monkeys would not let go of the food, the hunters would calmly go approach the monkey and grab them and basically, have their prey, or have their food in that case. Oftentimes we are such monkeys because we hold on to things knowing that these things are going to get us into trouble, or at the least going to slow us down in achieving things that really matter more. We do this so often. We start learning something or investing our time and energy into something, and realize after a while that it is more detrimental than useful or helpful. But because we've invested so much time and energy, we do not let go of those investments, those people often, right? There are relationships in which you are invested, and you realize that it's often more detrimental than helpful or useful. There is also another analogy from the game of poker. For those of you who know the game, you make bets based on what your current hand is, and then oftentimes the hand changes because of how the table goes, and that whatever you've invested thus far, or whatever you've bet thus far, is at a much higher risk now. But we hold on, and it's the pull of the hope that things will just work out magically that keeps us there. All of these things apply to life. Are they're hard, but they're essential, because the more you understand this, the better you understand this, the better your chances of being able to spend your time on things that are more worthwhile and more fruitful for our own lives. And this story, I can think of a zillion different examples for myself. There have been times I've gone and learned a new skill that was recommended by a friend or a good senior colleague, and I realized after a significant amount of time and money invested that it was not my cup of tea, or more so, it wasn't something I wanted to do. Luckily, now that I think about it, I gave that up for things that I do now, and it is so essential, because if you get pulled into things that are going to be time consuming and not going to be adding the kind of value that you want to your life, it's the biggest waste of time, and time, as we've talked about before, is the only non-redeemable entity that we have. So that was that. I really think this is a beautiful learning for myself, at least. If you think you like it and agree with it, do let me know. And thank you for staying with me all this while. For those of you who have subscribed, it's amazing to have you guys here. Thank you so much. I appreciate your time, like always. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Have a good one, folks.